Welcome to Regular Achievers Limited, presenting Royal Tutors, your trusted support for brain-friendly, high-impact learning. Today we're going to be looking at how to hook your reader in writing opening that grabs the reader's attention. For the objective, that's that by the end of this whole section, you will be able to identify effective opening techniques in GCSE level text, apply tone and hook strategies in your own writing, craft opening paragraph worthy of a grade 9. Now, what is a hook? A hook is the first line or idea in your writing that grabs the reader's attention and makes them want to keep reading. It is the magnet of your paragraph, the spark that lights the rest of your essays or stories. Now, why it matters is that examiners read hundreds of essays. A short or strong hook makes you stand out, and then a weak one, like in this essay, I will explain, signifies dullness before they even mark a paragraph. Now, for key ideas, a hook shows or should create surprise, emotion, or curiosity. That's how the reader's brain says, "Tell me more." Now, here are the three parts of a good hook. The power, what it means, example, and effect. We have surprise, say something unexpected. We build our prison out of comfort, not concrete. The reader's curiosity wakes up. Okay, now for another one, we have the emotion. It also works on the reader's emotion, make the reader feels. Fear isn't a feeling, it's a shadow that never leaves. Okay, this builds mood and connects emotionally. We have curiosity. It helps or build a good hook should attack the reader's curiosity, makes the reader wonder. He opens the letter and everything changed. That's an example. Now for triggers, suspense, readers must continue. Remember, every grade 9 opening line uses at least one of these three, and they are surprises, emotion, and curiosity. Now, three types of hook and how to use them. Shocking statements. Example, ambition destroy faster than fire. Short, sharp sentences. Example, hope is rebellion. And then question hook, like the rhetorical question. What would you sacrifice for success? And we have vivid image. Smoke pours through the alley, whispering secrets of the night. Contradiction or irony. We are more connected than ever, and yet more alone than ever. Anecdote, which is a mini story of yourself. When I was 10, I thought heroes wore capes. Now I know they wear shrubs. Okay, now hooking the reader is in different GCSE writing task. Now, writing task, how to hook your reader. An example, why it works. Creative writing starts with action or emotion. And then we see example, the scream tore through the night before I even saw the knife. Now this is an immediate tension. Now for we have the descriptive writing, and we can use sensory imagery like rain hiss or rain hissed against the metal roof like whispering ghosts, and this creates an atmosphere. Okay, you can use this hook for descriptive writing. Now for article or speech, okay, you can be bold or funny. For example, if teenagers run the world, would fixed will fix climate change by lunchtime. Now, this shows confident voice in your articles and speech. So you should start at a bold or funny opening. And for persuasive essay, we could use a contrast or an irony. And for example, we scroll to feel connected, but every wipe took us further apart. Now, this you should be clear and modern. Now, for literary essays, you should show deep insight in your hook. And for example, in Macbeth, ambition doesn't rise, it rots. And you have to be analytical and original. Now, structure of a powerful opening paragraph. Here, you should think of your opening paragraph like a movie trailer. It hints, excites, and sets up the main idea. Now, for formula, you should hook. Your hook should grab attention, and it should have context, and your context should answer what's the topic. It should also have focus. You should focus on the main idea. And then the preview, you should explore or search for what will the rest explore. Now, for example, we praise ambition as progress, but in truth, it is a fire that feeds on everything it touches. Alright, so this is like a hook. It grabs attention, it shows context, it fits on the main idea, and then it can help you explore the rest of the writing. Now, hook and tone, matching mood to message. Now, for tone, we're going to be looking at when to use it, examples of hook. Now, a serious tone analyzes analyzes essay. Now, powerful, it should be powerful. And then, for example, power never changes people, it reverses them. Now, for ironic tone, you can use it for opening opinions, like honesty is the best policy, unless you want to keep your friendship. Now, for emotional tone, you can use it in speeches, and for example, every child deserves a tomorrow that isn't borrowed. Now, for mysterious tone, you can use it in creative writing, and you can have hooks like this. The clock stopped the moment she whispered his name. Okay, a consistent tone makes your writing sound mature and controlled. Now, the psychology of hooking readers. Hook works because the brain reacts to new, surprise, emotions, the feelings, visual, imagery, and unfinished with curiosity. All right, so the brain responds to all this, and when you have all this in your hook, okay, it makes the reader want to read on. Now, for example, it was a dark and stormy night, as a cliche. The brain switches off. All right, this is the cliche and it switches the brain off. Now, look at this one. The thunder doesn't roar, it whispers. It creates surprise. It brings in emotion. It helps the reader want to imagine what you're saying, and then it takes the reader's attention on. That's the psychology. Now, hook is in literature what you can learn. The text, opening line, why it hooks. Now, for literature, we're going to see examples of hooks when you're writing to analyze in some of the literatures, few of the literatures here. We have Macbeth. Hooks like thunder and lightning entered three witches. Sudden, dark, dramatic. Okay, sudden, dark, and dramatic. Now, for Christmas Carol, we have Merlin was dead to begin with. Okay, and it brings it's it shows a strange, humorous, and eerie kind of opening or hook. Now, in Inspector Calls, Happy Dinner Before Disaster, okay, it shows contrast of peace before tension. Then from Pride of Barbados and Pride and Prejudice, rather, I'm sorry, got me to remember something else. It is a truth universally. That is one of the hook you can use in Pride and Prejudice. Okay, it's acknowledged and it is irony plus with. All right. Now for your revision hacks for mastering hook. Now hook practice drills. You have to start to practice your hooks. Write down hooks and practice them according to different types of writing. Examiner's test, the no warm-up rule. Then imitate the master. Take up some hook and then imitate the hooks. Then from there you develop your own hook. And contrast techniques. Take a difference between your hook and other person's hook, and then from there you learn more. Now, example, the sun shone like a blessing until the scream began. All right, this is a contrast. Then the grade 9 opening formula for essay revision. We have hook, context, thesis, direction. For example, power doesn't always corrupt. Sometimes it comforts. Why it ends grade 9, it is insightful. It has insightful ideas. It has sophisticated tone. It is clear, and then it shows smooth flow. All right, so this is a kind of formula you can use to create a hook. You can always practice. All right, so for our final takeaway, the opening paragraph is your handshake with the examiner. It says, I am confident, I am original, I understand how writing works. To hook your reader, start with surprise, emotions, or curiosity. Match tones to purpose, avoid predictable opening. Set up easy direction clearly, because in writing, just like in life, first impressions last. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time in the other video. Thank you and bye.